Good morning students. Now today we are having our third lecture of chapter number first, that is physical world. Okay, and even in this chapter we have still studied about the what does the science means and what is the meaning of physics, and afterwards we have studied about the fundamental forces in the nature. Four forces I have just been told you, that is your electromagnetic force, gravitational force, strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. Clear? Now today first we are just discuss about the gravitational force. What does the gravitational force means here? What does its meaning? Okay, even you have studied about the gravitational force in 9th standard as well, but now again we are discussing about this gravitational force, and even this gravitational force is also be come across to you in your chapter number 8, maybe chapter number 8 in your the chapter name of chapter is gravitation. Okay, in that we have just discussed about it in a brief. Now here only we are just be discussed in as like an introduction portion only. Clear? Okay, so what does gravitation force means here? The gravitational force is the force of mutual attraction between any two objects. Okay, there is a attraction, the mutual attraction between any two objects, that is your gravitational force, by virtue of their masses. Remember this thing, by virtue of their masses. Okay, so I am just writing the gravitational force is the mutual attraction okay, the gravitational force is the mutual attraction between any two objects by virtue of their masses, by virtue of their masses. Okay, this is your gravitational force, and even the gravitational force is also be known as universal force. Okay, so it is also a universal force. Clear? Okay, which force beta? Universal force. And even the every object experience this force due to every other object, as I have told you that this is the attraction, the mutual attraction between any two objects. So always in this the force is always be experienced, okay, with every other objects in this universe, and even all the objects on the earth has just experienced a force, that is the gravity, a force of gravity they experienced. Okay, and like we can say the motion of the earth, motion of the planets, okay, motion of the artificial or we can say the natural satellite, all these are having the motion regarding the gravitational force only. So we can say it plays, this phenomena plays an important role, okay, in the large scale. Clear? It plays an important role in the large scale, just to having the motions of the objects, of satellites, of our planets, of our galaxies as well. Okay, so all this has been depend upon this only. Even the formula is right now not be here in this topic, in this chapter, but I am just be telling you the formula also, because you have already studied about the formula in your 9th standard. So formula for the gravitational force is F is equals to G m1 m2 upon r square, if you remember the formula. F is equals to G m1 m2 upon r square. Here G is your gravitational constant, m mass of object, r distance between the objects. Clear? Okay. These terms indicates like F is the gravitational force, okay, G is the gravitational constant, m1 m2 is your what we can say the masses of the object, and r is the distance between the objects. Clear? This is all about the gravitational force, and all the forces have the same unit, that is Newton. Unit of force is Newton. After the completion of this chapter, this is the basic chapter beta. After the completion of this, we will brief describe of all the topics, what are the units, what are the measurements, how you are able to understand the units, measurements, dimension formula. The main physics chapter has been started from your chapter number 2. This is your just a basic introduction, what you have studied yet and what you are going to be studied now. Okay, on the same, on that circumstances, only on that situation, the entire topic is just be concluded in this chapter, in a short chapter. Okay, clear? This is all about the gravitational force. Moving towards the next force, and that is your electromagnetic force. So, second one is electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force. Okay, and it is the force between the charged particles. Okay, as the electro is there means about the charged particle. So, it is the force between charged particles. Force between the charged particles. Okay, and we can say that in the simpler case, then we can say the charge is at rest. Okay, when the charge is at rest, then the force is given by the Coulomb's law. When we are just describe the electroforce by the rest charge. Okay, so when charge is at rest, then force described by Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. Okay. Now, I don't think that you are not be familiar with the word Coulomb. You are, because this word Coulomb is also be, you have studied in your 10th standard the charge of, the unit of charge, that is Coulomb. Okay, and here when any of the charge, when it was in rest condition, then the force which we have calculated, that is described by the Coulomb's law. And the Coulomb has said that the force on the charged particle is always directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the distance, square of the distance between these charges. And when we combine both the equations, then we get F proportional Q1 Q2 upon r square. Always remember, when we have solved the derivations, even this is not be there in your this syllabus. Why I am this Coulomb's law, the entire derivation is coming in your 12th standard. But why I am here just tell you about this, because I just want to clear you that how the derivations you have to be right in the physics. This is the important thing, this is the basic thing. Okay, always when the new line you have started, you have to be applied the implies that sign. Okay, clear? And these are the sign of proportional. And when you remove the proportional, then according to the physics, the laws, there should always be a constant. Okay, when you remove the sign of proportionality and put the equals to sign, then there will always be a constant term, and here the constant term is K, the electrostatic constant, and the remaining term is as it is, Q1 Q2 upon R square. Okay, clear? Now this K, what is K here? K is your electrostatic constant. Clear? Okay. Now always remember, it means all the terms are depending on force. Okay, the product of two charges are directly proportional to the force. The square of the distance between the charges are inversely proportional to the force. We are just combine the equation, then we remove the sign of proportionality and put the equals to sign, and there should be one constant, and here this constant is a proportionality constant, the electrostatic constant, and even this is also be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. Now you have just be seen better, in every new line I have just be used the implies that sign, and this is must in physics. Clear? And even this is not be in your syllabus, I am just be telling you, this is in 12th standard. I am just be telling you because you know how to write, you have to be know that how to write the derivations. Okay, this is very much important in physics. Now you are thinking, what is this epsilon naught, the E naught? This is the electrical permittivity, and the description of this electrical permittivity we will discuss in our 12th standard. Not be right now, because you don't know any kind of the basic ideas about the charge still. So when you are studying in physics in 11th standard, then only you are capable to understand the 12th standard physics. So here I am just be leaving this topic up to here only, just I am showing you how you have to be write the derivations. Okay, so this is the proportionality constant K, this is having the value 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and the unit of the force will be same for all the forces, that is Newton. Clear? This is about it. Now how does it term as a electromagnetic force? Now in 10th standard, I think you have understand this concept according to the Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. Like this, when the charged particle, if you are holding a wire in your right hand like this, and the thumb represent the direction of the current, and this encircled fingers are represent direction of the magnetic field. It means when the current is going to upward direction, then it will makes a anti-clockwise direction. The magnetic field will be revolving around the current in anti-clockwise direction. When it is going downward, then it will be in the clockwise direction. It means the electric field means the current produces the charged particle, produces the electric field. So we can say the electric field and the magnetic field are just correlate to each other. Just correlate to each other. Okay, clear? That's why when what we are saying, that the like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. Similarly, in the magnetic field also, the like poles repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. All the properties, all the conditions, the characteristics are almost same. So whenever the electric field will create, then the magnetic field also be create, and they combinedly apply a force, and that is your electromagnetic force. EM waves is traveling, electromagnetic waves are traveling. This is about the electromagnetic force, and even we can say that the electric force that the electromagnetic field also be 10 to the power 36 times the gravitational force. Okay, if I just discuss, then the electromagnetic force is very much higher in the value than the gravitational force has. Okay, so this is all about it, and the further topics we will discuss in our next class, in our next video. Hope you are able to understand the things. Okay, and slowly we have captured all the things, and you will understand how to write the derivations and how to solve the questions in the physics. Okay, and that is our basic thing. First chapter is completely theoretical, no any kind of a derivations will be there. This is just be the conceptual things, the concept of physics and the science in the first chapter. Afterwards, in second chapter we will discuss all the remaining things, and from the second chapter onwards you are able to understand how to write the formulas, the derivations, each and everything. Clear? Okay, thank you. That's all for today.